So forearms are vertical. Lily's gonna get a big breathing embrace, and you can see that waistband come out. As Lily presses, watch the forearms. They're still gonna stay vertical. Hello and welcome to our apartment for this video on the double arm dumbbell overhead press. Or we could word this as a seated dumbbell overhead press. So as the name implies, you're gonna be seated. As we just mentioned, we are in our house. So like you, we don't have all the amenities that a gym facility might have. We don't have a bench, we do have some dumbbells. So going through how we selected the thing that we have here, this is actually like a little snare drum. A chair is also great. Some chairs may be a little bit too cushy. If it's too cushy, what might happen is you might kind of sit and like tuck your butt underneath you. This will put you in a bad spinal position. Don't use a chair that puts you in this position. It's really nice to have a hard chair, like a wooden chair, because those things are so firm that you can get yourself in a good position and not be moving around. One consideration you do need to think about is back support versus no back support. Of the options with back supports that we have here, none of them are that great. Either the arms are too high or they're a little bit too squishy to provide good spinal support. But this box here, despite the fact that it has no back, is great for us getting in positioning. What it does mean is that we're gonna have to really double down on our breathing and bracing, because if that external support of the back isn't there, we need the internal support of our breath and brace so we can have that good spinal positioning throughout our pressing motion.
Remembering with this exercise, as with all of our exercises, that we really don't want the movement to be happening in our low back. We want to be able to keep our low back stable via our breath, and then the movement, the proper movement of our shoulder blade gets to come from above, having a solid place to move from.
Yeah, totally. So that's a great point. Lily, can you turn around? The shoulder blade is a really interesting joint. I'm gonna have you come right over here, actually. It's a really interesting joint in the sense that it's not like a lot of the other joints. It doesn't really have like a straight articulation like a lot of other joints. At the elbow, it's a very obvious joint. The shoulder blade kind of just slides and glides across the rib cage with like a layer of muscle between the two. Okay, so with that, it's not a very stable system, but it can be with external stability. So despite the fact that we are getting most of our support from our breathing and bracing, even when you're sitting, your legs are still contracted. You're still gripping and pressing into the ground to create that support, because in order for this system to be able to work as best as it possibly can, everything else needs to be stable. This is so unstable that it's so much more susceptible to lapses in stability and tension throughout the body that you really want to dial it in. Otherwise, you're going to end up with that nagging shoulder pain as you age that you really just are going to have to address the same issue later on. So we might as well just address it now.
And while I'm facing this way, John, let's go through the pressing motion, and I want you to outline how much my shoulder blade really is moving.
Yeah. Okay, so Lily's, here's the bottom, and there's about the spine. So it's like a triangle, like that.
And the spine is just part of the shoulder blade.
Yeah, it's just the top. It's like the flat portion of the triangle, upside down triangle. Okay, so the point is here, the flat part's here. As Lily presses, this whole thing swings out. Okay, you can see there. Bring it back down. The whole thing swings in a ton. Press out. Bring it in.
Okay, I want you to see now, what happens when, if I were to just let gravity do it and I stop moving my shoulder blade at the bottom, look what happens.
See how that wings out? Okay, with that winging, we get dumping. Okay, with that dumping, we get impingement. With that impingement, you get aches, pains, and possibly very expensive surgery in the future. So what we want to do is actively pull that shoulder blade down, because then that keeps it nice and locked to that rib cage, and that's that stability we're talking about. If you don't create that tension, you get that big wing, that's going to throw the whole system off. You're going to have decreased performance, increased pain, and honestly, it's just not going to feel as fun and athletic when you're doing it.
In that last movement, it's really helpful to think about, it has nothing to do with it being like a bicep curl or anything. You want to keep that forearm parallel, and then you're drawing.
Parallel with the force of gravity.
Oh yes.
Gravity is moving vertically down, so basically what Lily is saying is you want your forearm also vertically up. Not bent in, because that's a tricep extension, not out, because that's just weird. Vertical.
And it's a really common way for people to avoid using their shoulder blade by letting their elbow bend more. Look, it's almost the same shape, right? But really, we want to keep that forearm parallel and let the last little bit come from the movement of your shoulder blade.
Yeah. With that forearm vertical, you're going to notice you may have to go down in weight, but what you're going to also notice is that your serratus is really going to fire. Okay, your lats are going to really turn on for that extra stability, and you're going to really feel it in your deltoid. What kind of happens is when you have that dumping and that wing, that poor positioning, you're going to get a lot of upper trap. Okay, you're going to get a lot of tricep. You're going to get a lot of soft tissue damage and shortening of that pec minor muscle, which is going to cause a whole host of damage later on at your desk or whatever. So it's really important, despite the fact that we may have already said it again, or we may have said it, we're going to say it again, keep the forearm vertical and actively pull that shoulder blade down in it. But we digress, and let's show you what the hell we're talking about. So Lily's going to have the dumbbells, and one thing to notice here is that Lily has the box set up so that the point is sticking out between her legs. It's going to be a lot easier for you to position yourself properly, and it's going to be a lot more comfortable as well. So do yourself a favor and point the point of the box out in front of you as opposed to just having the straight part here.
My feet are grounded to the floor, and I'm creating tension through my legs and my core already so that I'm ready.
Yeah, despite the fact that this is going to be an upper body vertical pressing exercise, Lily is still going to spread her toes, splay her feet, and get good, proper human to ground connection. All that's really saying is she is solidly locking herself in as if she's locking into the bindings on her skis or something like that. So forearms are vertical. Lily's going to get her big breathing embrace, and you can see that waistband come out. As Lily presses, watch the forearms. They're still going to stay vertical. Lily doesn't, you can bring it back down. Lily doesn't flare from her ribcage. Lily at the bottom, watch how smooth this is, okay? When you're ready, you can press back up. See how smooth that was? What we didn't see there, don't go down quite as far, is you didn't see a lot of it. You see this, and you see, boom, that rock and press. Don't rock, okay? Your whole goal is to try to create tension where you really want it, which is here, here, a little bit here, and a little bit here, okay? If you do some sort of bounce thing, you're just throwing it up and catching it up top, okay? You're gonna accomplish the same point A to point B. You're gonna accomplish the same amount of time in the gym. You're not gonna accomplish the same results. So don't cheat yourself to try to look cool, okay? Do it right and reap the rewards. Trust me, you'll be so thankful you did it that way.
And anyone can pick up a heavy weight in the gym and use their upper trap to lift it up, right? But all of us are too tight in this area already. So it's actually, can you use these weights in an intelligent and thoughtful enough way to create balance in your body instead of contributing to the imbalance?
Yeah. Remember, this is your IV. This is your prescription drug. This is your surgery. This is your very expensive electromagnetic machine. Okay? This is the drug that will heal you. Okay? Don't take it for granted. Don't abuse it. Take it seriously, and take your movement seriously as well.
And don't just try to be cool.
We'll do that and other shit.